everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Rebecca Klaas-Peter, and I'm from the European Internet Exchange Point Association. And I'm just here to talk to you about Internet Exchange Points, what we do and why. I just want to say thank you to IX.br for inviting me to speak. I've been in Brazil before, but this is the first time I've been here to this forum, and I'm very happy to be here. So just to give you a brief agenda, I'm going to speak about what an IXP is. I'm going to talk about what Euro IX does, and then give a brief history of the IXP-DB and what we've been working on, and also roadmap for 2019. So how many of you in the room know what an IXP is? If I can have a brief show of hands. Anyone? One? So a few of you do know what that is, but I thought before I go further to explain what we do, it's very important to establish what an IXP is and the definition given by the Internet Exchange Federation. Now, we have a very kind of long explanation there about what Internet Exchange Point is and what it does. But the essential basis of what an IXP is that it is the physical location that allows internet traffic to pass by, that is used by internet infrastructure companies such as CDNs and ISPs. Now, it allows them to do that by connecting the networks together into an interconnection. And this is used by BGP protocol as well. So just to break down the long explanation from the previous slide, you can see that it says it's a technical facility. And it's distinct from other transit providers or carriers. It's not to be confused with them, and that's why a name is given to the access called autonomous systems. So the function basically is just to interconnect the networks. It provides other networks access to connect together, and what it does is it allows less latency with the IXPs, and also saves some, I would say, financial cost of the connections. So I have a further explanation. So as I said before, it's not to be confused with transit carriers or providers, and the qualification network has to be broken down and further clarified, which is why we resolved the issue by using the term autonomous system. And this is a standard technical definition that is given to a standalone network. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do at Euro IX. So as I said, we are a membership organization of Internet Exchange Points. The title Euro IX, kind of indicates that we're only in Europe, but this is not true. We have members from the rest of the world outside of Europe. We were formed in May 2001, and the basis for this formation was to strengthen, develop, and to improve the community of IXPs. And we represent IXPs throughout the world through forums and through talking with each other. We encourage them to form best practices and other important work. Next slide. So we have 79 affiliated members, and as I said, we have other members that are not in the European region. That includes 26 IXPs from the rest of the world and 53 IXPs that are in the European region from 47 countries, and altogether they represent over 100 peering lands. Our newest members are Dortmund Internet Exchange from Germany and Asteroid International with headquarters in Netherlands. And I just want to say thank you to our patrons. We don't have a typical kind of sponsorship model at EuroIX. We have something that we call patrons. And they are typically vendors or CDNs who are vested in the IXP community, and they support us to be able to carry out the work that we do. I do know that there's one patron in the room from Extreme, so thank you for that. And if anyone else in the room that I've missed, just want to say a quick thank you. So, IXPs in Europe, how it looks right now is that there are 197 known IXPs. And by known IXPs, we mean IXPs that are operational, so they are up and running. And they are in 48 countries. And I said before that we had 79 IXPs in 47 countries. So this means that we are actually quite spread out over the 48 countries that do have IXPs present. This allows a lot of our members to interact and to form different partnerships that they want to as well. So this is in 146 cities, and the red dots represent where EuroIX has members, and the blue dots are where there are known IXPs. So if you were interested in joining EuroIX, what is the criteria for this? So as we explained about what an IXP is, any IXP that meets the industry standard, or the definition of an IXP, that is operational and has more than 3 peers at the exchange, is open to join EuroIX. And a number of benefits for joining, and I have to emphasize on being able to connect together. But we do offer forum twice a year. We just had last month a forum in Venice, which was really successful. We had as many exchanges that we've ever had before coming together to share ideas, technical issues that they may be having, or just new technology that they have at the exchange, and they're able to share this securely with other IXPs. We have sessions for customer views, so some of our network providers are able to attend and also to give some feedback about what they're doing in the community as well. We do hold a number of workshops as well, so if you're interested in any root server workshop or anything to do with BGP, we do offer workshops that you are able to attend. And again, it's just to share the ideas and to improve the general internet community. We do a number of database and tools, which I'll talk about in a second. And you're able to subscribe to a number of mailing lists. And this, it provides the members to be able to talk to us and to talk to each other. We have a number of reports, including benchmarking report. This is going on to its 14th year. We just sent out the survey this week. And hopefully we have more and more IXPs taking part, because it enables them and us to see what the IXP community is doing and where they are, and where there's growth, where there's not growth. And so we do encourage IXPs who are our members to take part in this. Also, being a part of EuroIX, you're able to attend the EPF, the European Peering Forum. And also, last week, for example, we had an announcement made by France IX, who are our members, and they had made an interconnection agreement with 5 other IXPs who are also our members. And this, this interconnection agreement was basically that they were able to peer with the other members at 100 Mbps. Limit for free. So these are some of the things that, being a member of EuroIX, you're able to go ahead and do and have partnerships with other IXPs. So We are a part of something called the Internet Exchange Federation. And this is made up of Africa Internet Exchange Point Association, the Asia Pacific Internet Exchange Point Association, IX, which is the Latin America and Caribbean Internet Exchange Point Federation, and ourselves, IX. And together this represents the global, regional Internet Exchange Points associations. We work together to have commonality within the regions and to basically to take care of the IXPs. So I said earlier that I was going to talk about some database and tools that we have. To give a bit of background about what we call the Internet Internet Exchange Point database. This was actually created around 15 years ago when IX was formed in 2001. However, it was previously called the Euro IX database. What we decided to do was to restructure the database through consultations with our members and also with wanting to make the system to have more automation within the system. So the work for this started in 2007 and it was contracted out to CZ-NIC. Some of you may know that they are the developers of Bird. And so we felt that we'd be in very safe hands to give this project to them to be able to develop the new database. As I said, through membership feedback, we wanted to change the system. We realized that we had to start again with a whole new system. We started this in 2017. We do have the database operational, it's up and running, but there's a lot of work that we are doing and that we have to do. So the main reason for doing this is that there's no place where IXPs can publish their data accurately, and also it's for it to be a complete set of data. So we have taken up this work, hopefully for the IXPs to have in one place an accurate set of data. IXPs can show the world who they are connected to and where they're present at and where they're not present at. Networks are also able to see where IXPs are present at or what networks are present at those IXPs. And also it helps to IXPDB to get support for other networks, to see who's connected to that exchange. So we have been working on a new interface. We realized that the interface that we had previously wasn't really user-friendly, I would say. Also, we wanted to update the content and also navigation of the IXPDB. We do have a lot of tools in there that are not apparent to our users, how to get there and how to use those tools. So we also have new profile pages. For our members who are here, we have new forum pages, new profile pages. This enables them to update their profile as a user, and when it comes to forums, they have their biographies and their photo, and it enables those who are coming to forums to know who the speakers are. We didn't have some of this before, and it was something that was mentioned by our members that they needed improvement on to be visible. And so we've made a number of changes with that. We've made a number of changes with IXPDB pages and tools as well. So you can access the IXPDB via ixpdb.euroix.net. The data is taken from the IXF-JSON member list. And we have the versions 6 and 7 operational, and we are currently working on version 8, which hopefully will be coming soon. This will include further details on switches. It will have further details on route servers, and also it will have a location based around switches. This is something that we noted was not accurate, and so we did have a map on the IX.br to showcase this that we have now hidden so that we are able to get this information correct in the JSON schema to showcase it correctly. And you can find details or to follow the conversation about the JSON schema on our GitHub page. So, finding your data within the IX.br. There is a tab on the IX.br page here, and there are 4 different options on that menu that I'm going to go through now. So the first one is the Provider tab, and the Provider tab is basically the information about IXPs. Within this, you're able to see, you can search via IXFID, the name, city, country of that IXP. You can search IXPs with only an API, and you can also search regionally as well. And there's a little bit of work to be done with this because we have to actually go along and put each IXP into regional categories for this to show correctly. And then you can hit search, and then you get some results. So something that is really important with the IX.br is that the IXPs need to have their IXF ID in the member list. A lot of members have been sending us their exports, and it's showing up incorrectly or not showing at all because the IXF ID is missing. So you can find this by entering your IXP name into the search box, and then when that comes up, you're able to see what IXF ID you have. So the next one is the Network tab, and the Network tab is just showing what networks are present at that IXP. And then you have the Points of Presence tab, and it shows where the IXP is basically present. And then we have the Participants tab, so it shows what networks are present at that particular internet exchange. Here you can see it has the ASN number, it has the name of the particular participant, it has the type of network that it is, so whether it's non-profit, etc. It has the IP address, so this includes the V4 and V6, and it also has the MAC address and how many IXPs it's present at. So we also have a traffic tab, and the traffic tab, basically, we can show your IXP traffic via day, week, month, or year, and we have this more aggregatedly on the home page. And this is done via API. So going back to the Provider tab, as I said, you're able to search for an IXP here. You can also sort by IXFID, and you can sort by the name, the city, the country, or even last updated. So if an IXP has updated their member list regularly, perhaps yesterday, this will come on top. You're able to search via that. You're able to just click whether to search by API or not. And you're also able to see or to search how many number of networks that they are connected. So we previously had in the old version something that we called the IXP matrix, and this basically allowed the members to compare and to see which networks and IXPs are present and what is happening with these IXPs. And now we call it the compare tab or the compare function. So you can see here in this line here, we have a number of pluses. Now, if you click on the pluses, you are able to select which IXPs you want to compare, and then voila, you have the IXPs that you've compared. Now, just for this demonstration, we are comparing BICS in Budapest, Catalonia, which is CATS NICs, and also CERN Internet Exchange. And you're able to get a number of details on them, where they are present at, jumbo frame information, etc. But what is also important is that you're able to see their common participants. So you can see here it's Hurricane Electric. And you're also able to see, very importantly, the unique participants at that internet exchange. So you can see here that Budapest has 60 unique participants, Katnix has 35, and also the number that is at CERN. So one thing that's important to do is to scrub your search. If you don't do this, you're going to get some really, really interesting results because it's going to compare quite a number of different IXPs. So it's important when you've done your search to go along and to hit this button, which will erase your search. So taking a look at the participant, or what we can call the ASN directory, you're able to use this in the same manner that you use the IXP or the provider tab. So you're able to see which ASN number that it's given, the participant, the type that it is, and so on. You're also able to use it in the same way that you used IXP by searching for an ASN. You can also use it to compare as well. As I said, so you can hit the compare function in the same way as the IXP, and if you compared, for this demonstration we used Akamai and Google. So using that and comparing the two, you're able to see the number of providers that they have and the common providers that they have in common, and it gives you the number of providers that they have in common. And more importantly, you're able to also see the number of unique providers that they have to that particular internet exchange point. So just to give a brief roadmap, we are carrying on the work, and we do want to improve a number of things, like the tables and the graphics within the IX.br. We also want to improve navigation, as I mentioned previously. And also, we will be publishing the JSON schema, the updated version, as I mentioned before, to version 8. And also, we will have an API authentication. And what this means is it will allow the IXPs to decide which information that they want to publish or not to publish. This is very good for those members who don't want to make everything publicly available. We are going to also create an IXF JSON member list form, and this is for those IXPs that are not able to have the export. So this will enable them to be able to do that on the website through the form and still have their IXP data accurately in the IX.br. We also want to highlight which ASNs are not present in PeerInDB database. And what we need people to do is to give a nudge to those networks or those IXPs and say, hey, you need to update your data in the PeerInDB, and this will make PeerInDB more accurate, and in turn make the IX.br also more accurate. We're also going to have a number of new analysis tools. And what we need from you is, if you have any ideas about how we can do this, what you want to see, if there's anything interesting, any interesting information you want to showcase about IXPs or networks, we encourage you to please contact us, that we could be able to do this. And we'll have a discussion, and yeah, just contact us, email us, and we want your input. So that's it, but if I can take any questions.
Alguma pergunta para a Rebeca? Por favor.
Hello, Douglas. Douglas Fisher. I saw, I got very interested on your JSON in API, and that you publicize, gets public some information about your participants on IXP, and I read about the integration with PeerInDB. here on IX.br, something is going on like that, a little slower, but is growing. But the question is, how will you define the public data of of those informations that will be published for anyone, and what will be restricted? What is the criteria?
So that is up to the IXP. So some of our members, for example, don't want to publish data about the root servers or switch data. So it's entirely up to the IXP to let us know which ones that they do not want to be public. So for example, if an IXP didn't want their root server to be public, we would still have this data from them, but it would not be visible to the users. But we would have this data aggregated to be able to show that this is what is happening, but not for that specific IXP. Does that make sense?
Yep, sure. Thank you.
Obrigado, Douglas. Rebeca, muito obrigado.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.